We had a bit of a traumatic morning. We had a 4.6 earthquake here in Southern California. He woke up like a minute before crying. I was like, I don't know if birds cry. This one does. He doesn't know he's a bird. Um, and then he flew, and I had to find him in the ground. And luckily, I have a nightlight. Then it took me like 45 minutes petting him and consoling him. Um, yeah, he was kind of a mess. So that was early this morning. So anyways, I just wanted to do a video. I shout out to Michelle Wolfe. I know she mentioned my name. Unbiased on the fence. Just, here to do a video just to kind of share a story. I told people were asking, are you going to do a second video? Which I'm surprised, but okay, I'll do another one. But this video is entitled My Event Experience in the Physical and in Dreams. And there's just so many words for, like, the event is like such a touchy subject. The name has gotten big, but they're just, people are just freaking each other out, and the number one thing is like no fear, and use your intuition all the way through, and like meditating, birthing. I don't know, I've never had any kids, this is my baby, but like how they say how you give birth. But the event, I like that name. It's less scary. There's nothing on it. It makes it that everyone gets to experience it. When you use Armageddon, you know the English language? Like, I have so many friends that English is their second language, and they're like, there's two, and two, and there, and there, and one of my friends said the hardest word was bird, eared, and beer. So it's like, it sounds so alike. So I think that's just kind of what's messed up about like the language, is there is a language barrier. There is a lot of words that mean one word. Like in my family, like stupid is a bad word. But in some people, it's not a bad word to them. So it just really just depends. But look at the Bible, like Armageddon. But if you look at the synonyms, I'm a writer also, so another synonym for it is disclosure. It says it in the Bible, you can see it, but it's in smaller fine print. So if you really have to look. But it also says like unveiling. Then there's the rapture. There's just so many words for different things. I like the event. I've gone through the physical and in dreams, and I do it in the sense that I don't know everything. I've had someone yell at me like, you think you know it all. I'm like, I don't know everything. All I can do, and why I'm even making this video, is to like share my personal experiences. Like with Alice and Co, it's like, man, don't shoot the messenger. Like we were given this messenger. Like even when I say I'm a first responder light worker, like my higher self or God or whatever you want to name it, because there's 100 words that mean what, kind of, pretty much the same thing, synonym, same thing, right? And it's just I'm a first responder light work, and I'm told that at this point in time, and we shouldn't give titles or say who we are, or we're a first responder, a light worker, a healer, or a shaman, or because a lot of people are going through like they're going through their Armageddon, their end times, their trying times. Look at the people in Hawaii right now. We just had an earthquake. It could have been an 8.0, and I wouldn't be making this video, and I would be going through that. Nah, not really. Like the California fires, I was like, I'm not around that. I don't see that, not in my universe. So same thing with this whole event, a rapture, end times, whatever you want to call it. It's not to me. It's called the event, and it's a beautiful, divine, perfectly laid out plan for everyone. We're all connected, yet we're all different. built on different personalities and in different stages and different timelines and different adventures in our life. So life is not a journey, it's a destination, but I say the destination is the journey. So, all right, let me get into this, because I'm probably already losing people by she's rambling on. So I'm going to try to make this fast, because I have so many. I have like 3 physical events. I had to write this down. And then I have 3 dreams I've had of the event. I'd rather start with the physical, because everyone has dreams. I was like, dreams are dreams. Oh, this is my dream book, by the way. So I have it by my bed. Before you touch any technology or touch your TV, especially your phone, that's our first thing, you know. You should get an alarm clock, so if you just want to look at the time and the alarm, and then that way you're not touching your, you can get them so cheap right now. That way you're not touching your cell phone. And as soon as you get up, I put my dream book and I write down what my dreams are, because you forget right away as soon as you touch technology. And then I also put, like, I'm doing my dream career right now that I want to do since I was a kid. I work in the entertainment industry, so anytime anyone calls and gives me an offer, I put that in here. So it's mixed with my physical dreams. I wanted to be in the entertainment industry since I was a kid. And then my dreams, that when I go to sleep I have dreams. So kind of makes sense that I have physical dreams that are happen for real. And I've had dreams that actually happen in real life, and I trip a lot of people up. So hence, I guess, why I've had in the physical and in the dreams. And I'm very stubborn, so things have to happen to me. So I've had 3 physical events happen and 3 physical dreams. And if you watch my last video, the 333 is an important message to me. It gets my attention. And that's what we have to understand about synchronicities. It's to get our attention. Like animal omens, things like that, also to get our attention. I'm very stubborn. I'm an overthinker, so I'm always, woo, you know, like what Michelle says, I love that squirrel, you know. I'm like, I actually say that, so it's kind of funny she says it. 2 peas in a pod. Quick shout out. I already said a shout out to Michelle Wolfe. I'll say it again. Love you. Thanks for taking the. Actually, I didn't give a shout out to you. Thanks for taking the time to, like, interpret and talk to everyone, interpret our dreams, interpret our physical, interpret all these energies, and then take the time to come on video and then talk to us all again. Like, I really appreciate that. At Josee, at Shane and Unbiased, you do the same thing. There's a lot of you. I'm sorry I can't mention you. And then I have to mention my Lightworkers group. Before I even found Shane at Unbiased and Fence and all the rest of you, I get a shout out for. I made this group called Lightworkers Unite off of Facebook Messenger, and it was people that I found on, like, YouTube videos that had made comments, and they're like, I think I'm a lightworker. I'm like, I'm a lightworker, let's join together. And then now it's just turned into this awesome community, and that's exactly what we want, you know. The more in numbers of the awaken, and the more, I mean, I pretty much, like, everyone gets so upset when I'm like, they're like, oh, you're a lightworker? Oh. Like, I'm trying to be famous or popular or cool. It's like, no, it's like every person is capable of being a light worker. We're all connected. It's just those who want to wake up and those who see the synchronicities of the Mandela effect or the signs or the synchron. Right now it says 44444. You know, 4 is actually my lucky number. It means creation. So it's those that want to create and spend the time to help all those and believe in yourself and believe in your intuition and believe that this is really happening. And that's hard because it's just easy to be like, I'm going through a quarter life or midlife crisis, or doesn't matter like what ages. I mean, we're all, you know, doesn't matter. There's no such thing as time, really. Okay, so let's hurry up and we're going to get on to, I'm just going to try to make them quick. I have to do another video, physical event and dream event, because there's just it's so much. Again, I'm a filmmaker, so like even when you tell me something, I see it in like full color, and this was like in my head and I got it out, you know, like that's Phoenix, and I like it's in my brain, I have to get it out. So I'm a filmmaker. So yeah, so like I was telling you guys, like we live on different timelines. I have a friend in Singapore. So that's before going into this, just remember what I said about that, and I think that will open us all up to like what's going on with Alison Coe talks about it, Neo Glimmer, and it's a lot of people talking about it now. And I didn't get into it because I knew about it. It started with my Lightworker group. Um, Connie, hi Connie, I love you. Um, she was like, we need to do a meditation. It was like the red alert with the red dragon coming over. I believe that was in what, September? I'm really bad with the concept of time. I don't live in a concept of time anymore. Um, so yeah, so basically she was like, we need to do this, like this is it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going full in. And I didn't know about meditating. Like my brain doesn't stop. So like for me, I have to like listen to like frequency music. There's one called Love Frequency, or I mean, there's a whole bunch on YouTube. But you gotta just listen to it for like 30 seconds, and if it resonates with you and you feel like a vibration or energy, or like almost like you're kind of going in this little rabbit hole or tunnel with it, it's a good one to pick. So I need that. Otherwise, I hear all the birds chirping and my bird, and so I usually have to play music in the background. So anyway, so this time I was like, you know what? Like I'm not gonna close my eyes. I was just staring. I'm like, I'm gonna look at the sun. Um, and yeah, so I was just staring at the sun, like meditating with my eyes open, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like you just kind of go in a trance, and all you just think to your heart and your soul that you just really want to heal the world and heal all these people, and do whatever this meditation is all about. There's usually specific. So all of a sudden, like I'm staring, and I can stare right, and the sun's going down, and I can stare right at the sun, and all of a sudden, like these gray clouds spew out of it, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like I'm thinking maybe it's, I don't know. I live like 20 miles from the beach, so I thought maybe it's like, you know, the clouds coming in from the shore, And then all of a sudden, like I was like, I stopped concentrating on what I thought it was, and I was just concentrating on the meditation. Again, like it's not about what I think this is, just be in the moment, that's what it's all about. And then it started, and then the clouds turned purple, and then from purple spewed out like pink. And I can stare right at the sun, and it was just, I don't know, I just felt like this connection with the sun, like I just felt this beauty, like, and then all of a sudden, like, polar opposite 180, I feel like all of a sudden what this whole meditation is about, and why we're trying to go to this new earth and change the world, is because this is what I felt. I felt like all the hopelessness. Like no one had hope. And like it's kind of like the same feeling when everyone thought the event was gonna. There's so many different dates. Again, everyone's on different timelines, so you can't give a date. But it was like that feeling when that didn't happen, and I felt everyone's hopelessness. But it was like 10 times worse. Like everyone just pretty much has given up on anything beautiful, love, relationships, a few, anything. Even in the present time, I felt like all this weight of the world, and I just started bawling. Yeah, it was a lot to take in, and then I was kind of referred back, and I'm in no, like Jesus in no any other way, whether you believe in the Bible or that or not. I'm just saying, like, um, it was like I felt like that whole thing when Jesus says, "Why did you forsake me?" And then it was like I wasn't saying that, even though I have said that after I lost my niece back to cancer, I laid on the ground and put my fist up in the air, and but I made my peace with God when that happened, losing two children back to back with cancer. But yeah, this was more like I felt the pain of the world, and I felt that why have you forsaken me in a personal context, but in this new feeling I had, which is many years later after going through that, it was more like me talking for the people. Why have you forsaken me, God? Not me saying it, but because I felt that before. But it was like the whole world. And that's kind of like where everyone's at, and that made me so sad. And then I just had to, like, bring my heart back up and be like, oh my gosh, like that's so, I'm they call it an empath. I'm more like sensitive. I'm definitely I'm more sensitive. I don't know about an empath, but I'm very sensitive to energy more than and how people feel. Like someone could cry in front of me and I'll be strong and not cry. Um, but then a few seconds later, after I feel so much pain, I will. But yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of one of them. That just I didn't know because the first time talking about it out loud. I think I told one other friend, and they're like, "Well, how did it feel?" And I'm like, "It kind of felt like that." She's like, "You think you're like Jesus?" I'm like, "No." I'm gonna get thumbs down for that, but no, not at all. I'm just kind of letting you guys know, like what Shane and Unbiased on the fence said. Like he knows the Bible really well, and he says like it's taken out of context. Like look what I just said about like the end times, Armageddon. Like look how many words that means. And what I felt at that moment was like when I had brought back to that, it was Jesus speaking for everyone. Like why have you forsaken me? And he wants to heal the world still, even at his darkest moment. And that's how I am. So that was one. Okay, we'll go to the major one. That one always like, oh, whatever, you're just seeing things. Okay, but the major one I felt is the one I talked to Michelle Wolfe about. And that's I think a lot of people are experiencing this one. This will resonate more. Okay, good. We're at 16 minutes, so I'll keep you guys for 5 more minutes. I try to keep it down to like 20 minutes, 30 max. So, okay, so this one was actually March 2nd. I was sitting up in my bed, and a lot of people were talking about the event's going to happen in March. It's going to be high energies. Yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, at this moment, I was just sitting there doing nothing. And it was all of a sudden, like, I kind of went in a trance and was focused in one area. And I was sitting straight up, and then all of a sudden, like, I couldn't move my body. And I'm like sitting there like, and I can move my eyeballs. And I'm like, why can't I move? And then just for a split second, I almost started getting fear into my heart. But then I remembered, like, they're like, March, it's going to be the event. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this the event? So, like, I immediately, like, try to look down at myself, and I can only move my eyes. So I looked down, and I could see my hand. I was just on the laptop, so the laptop was to the side. And I looked down at my hand, with my eyes, not my head. So I was looking down, and I saw the muscle twitching on my hand right here. So it was like, I saw the muscle memory that, okay, I'm trying to move my body, and I could see the muscle move in my hand. Is me trying to say to move it, but it wouldn't move. And I study like biology, physics, chemistry, astronomy. I was in advanced science classes, and I was studying to be a nurse, and I got in the entertainment industry. And I tried all. So, I was doing this as I knew biologically, like, I was looking down. So when I saw my muscle twitching, my muscles was trying to move my hand. It wasn't moving. So before I got scared, I was like, this is the event. And I was like, I'm not afraid. God, I am not afraid. And I just kept repeating that in my mind over and over and over and over. Because I couldn't move and I couldn't speak, but it was going in my mind. It's like telepathy. How do you say that? See how it's so hard with English? Telepathy. I can't say it like specific. Telepathy. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to try it, but you know what I'm talking about. Telepathic. I can say that word. So yeah, so it was just strange, like, and then all of a sudden, like, slowly after that, I about bliss. I didn't worry about where I was at. I didn't worry about my bird, my family. It felt like just the word bliss is exactly like what you feel. It's peace, joy, the connection of God, and being in the present moment. And it was amazing. The whole entire, I know I was like laughing in between and everything. That's what I do. I'm a really bad communicator and I don't express, and I tend to laugh when things are like uncomfortable. I don't know how to express myself. So the laughing is not always because I think something's funny. It's just I grew up not learning how to communicate. So I don't want to take away from the story from the laughing. But between that time period, it was 15 minutes max, 10 minutes. Even though there was no concert time, I did have the alarm clock in front of me. So that's why I'm like, I think everyone should get an alarm clock, because you don't have enough time to grab the phone. You're not even thinking about that. And then that way we can log things more. I think the more collective consciousness, or the more things that we can connect with together, or the more things that we can relate with, the more that makes us real. You know, it's like, what is real? What is reality? It's like my parents tell me, "Get a real job." I'm like, what does real mean? And then another moment. I'm not going to get to the dreams because it's already 20 minutes. So, I don't know. For me, the physical. I mean, the dreams are pretty important. I'll go through really fast, just one sentence for each one. But the physical, I believe, is more important. So on March 15th, I was talking to Michelle Wolfe. We still need to finish this conversation, Michelle. But I was staring outside again, sun gazing. That's what I like to do. It's either at nighttime. I love astronomy. Anyways, astronomy. What is going on with Jupiter and that thing they call Arcturian? That's a planet. Okay, that's another conversation about astronomy. So March 15th, I was sun gazing. I was just staring out. And I took my sunglasses off, and I'm like, that's weird. I can look right at the sun. The sun is setting. So it's the evening time. And then I started like squinting my eyes, and I can see like little rainbow bubbles, you know, from my eyes. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like people are describing the event. And then all of a sudden, staring at the sun, and I don't know, the lights go out or something, but the sun turns into this black disc. It looks like a rock to me. I guess the best description would be the way an Oreo cookie looks like, or like pumice rock. I know it's kind of a weird analogy, but that, like, you can see the detail. So I can see the detail in it, like it looked like pumice rock or something. This black disc, and that lasted about 7 seconds. And I'm like, this is like the event. That's in the Bible about the sun turning black, right? Like, I don't know the Bible from, I'm born and raised Catholic, turned Christian, turned spiritual. But but from what I remember, that's what they say, the sun will turn black in Revelation. So I'm like, this is the event. I normally keep my phone inside when I go outside because it's normally charging, and that's kind of my time outside. So I don't have my camera. I wish I had my camera because I would have like caught the most amazing video. And then all of a sudden, like, it started like vibrating and shaking, and then like, so count like me seeing the rock, 7 seconds, and then boom, it goes back to this, you know how bright the sun is right now, this obnoxious white light. Like, when I grew up, the sun was a lot more yellow. But whatever, same thing. Look at what's going on the moon. Look at Jupiter and Arcturian, that looks like a planet. You can find Arcturian if you follow the Big Dipper and follow the handle. If anybody has a good camera and can get me Jupiter and get me that, I would really appreciate it, and send it to me. Again, a big astronomy nerd, and I'm telling you, the sky is not the same up there. So just real quick, finish off my dreams. I had a dream about the event. We were in a huge cruise ship. but it wasn't packed like Noah's Ark. There was so much room that I kind of walked down these big hallways, like kind of like a hotel room where you walk down those massive hallways and there's ballrooms, like to these convention centers. Like that's what it looked like to me. And we were docked at like some beautiful water and waterfalls. Like to me, it didn't it didn't feel like Earth. It honestly felt like a different planet. But for me, I was just running around. I didn't care. And a lot of people knew who my name was, and that's a lot of my event dreams I have. Like people knew who I am. They're like, hey Renee, what's up? I'm like, and I don't really know who they are. Like I'm like, huh, I'm really friendly normally. I know I'm friends with all my neighbors and I know everyone. I'm like, hi to everybody. But like I didn't know who they were. So it was just kind of funny. But they like really knew who I were. They were like excited to see me. And then my second dream I had was where everyone was totally at peace and totally comfortable. Um, and there was like a bartering system, and everyone knew me there. Another dream I had was everyone was completely calm, and everyone was like standing in single file lines. And I was like kind of looking at everyone, and then I noticed everyone was naked, but nobody cared. No one was looking down. No one was whistling. No one was checking out. It wasn't like, you know, sexual or anything like that. Like everyone was like all just at peace, bliss, just looking forward, and everyone was walking through this glass wall, like a portal almost that was gold, like golden glass, if that makes sense. And we're all standing barefoot. Well, I mean, we were naked on grass, and I could feel the grass, and it was, I was connected to it, and it was like us going on a ride or standing in line, and like everyone was just completely calm. No one freaked out. No one looked at each other like in a weird way. No one's like, "Oh, you're naked," or anything weird like that. Yeah, and then everyone would walk through, and I woke up like I woke up when I was staring down. Well, I looked at someone's butt. I was like, "Is that someone's butt?" And it was a guy in front of me, and he turned around and like, just it wasn't like, "Oh, he's flirting with me." It was almost like, "Yay!" Like happiness. Like I don't know, like the face you give when you're so excited to go to like amusement park and you can't sleep the next day and you go on the first ride. That's the way the face looked. Um, and then the big dream I had, that one scared me. I mean, I have a lot of end of time dreams. Like I say, a lot of light workers have the end of time dreams, but this one happened at the end of March, April. Yeah, no, the end of March because that's when I said the original event was supposed to happen. So real quick with that dream, all at a grocery store, everyone's just kind of walking around, and then all of a sudden, I hear people screaming outside, and I run outside and I look up, and it's like this big dark gray cloud, and the sun does go black, and people are freaking out, and all these ominous things that you can't tell if it's like alien or supernatural or whatever it may be is happening. And I remember like going through my physical event before this dream, so I was like, "Don't be afraid. Like the number one thing is fear, and you're you have to help these people, like and they're all afraid." So then I like yelled out to everyone, and I was like, "No, like stop, like you guys are putting that in your head. Like that's not what I see." And they all turned around and looked at me like I'm crazy. Like I'm like, "No, look." And everyone turns around and looks, and earth, all the craziness. I think there was like an earthquake or shaking, or I don't know. Everyone was running around all crazy, like going mad. And I had to scream at the top of my lungs, and I can't believe people heard me. And when they turned around, it was like, oh, funny, a picture showing a beautiful sunset, exactly what I'm describing on my TV. But it was like this beautiful sky that was purple and turned pink, and then this orange and this yellow, and then dissipated back to the blue sky. And I told everyone, I'm like, "No, it's okay. Like, don't put that in your head." And I kept saying, it's like monsters in the closet, like when we're kids. Like our imaginations can be so huge. So we really have to be careful. It's like, like we manifest things. Like I've had so many scenarios I've like made up in my own head that weren't really happening, but I created it, you know? And so, I mean, that's what I saw in this. And everyone was like, oh, and I'm like, go back to your homes, everything's okay. And everyone was, stop panicking and all just calmly grabbed their groceries or just went along their day and walked away. And I'm just staring there like, okay, you know? So it's like, it's kind of like what I told you, like the California fires and that earthquake we had. Everyone's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it didn't happen in my universe, not in my world. So, I mean, you listen to my last video, my first video, with the volume all the way up in headphones, if you have a good sound system, hopefully. But that's what it's all about. Like, it's about creating what we want. And even when we're in, even if we're having a bad day, like, that's a moment. Like, the next day, things can totally change. Like, every day is different. So, that's my message to you guys. If there is a message, I just kind of wanted to share my experience. Hi, Phoenix. I'm having a little earthquake today. No, say hi. Yeah. No, I just wanted to share. I have a message coming in. So no, I just wanted to share my experience with the event and the physical. Whether you guys are like, oh, I know, like Neo Glimmer and a lot of people have like come out with the things they've gone through the event. But I really just believe like, you know, we all have a purpose. Some of us are first responder light workers. Some of us are good workers. Some of us are here just to send messages of hope. Oh, we need so much message of hope right now. And just for all of us, like just to take a moment. I know it's so hard to help people because we're in so much need, but live in the present moment. Your homework, everyone's homework for a week, if you listen to this, every morning you wake up, I want you to find something that you're grateful for and be grateful for your day starting. And thank God for this meat suit that we get to play with for however long. You know, my niece passed away at 9 years old and my nephew passed away at 4 years old. And they didn't get to have a chance to have an adult suit. Maybe they did in another life. I don't know about reincarnation and all that. All I know is just the information that I'm giving you all, and I know it's real, and I know it's the truth, and it's happening in my timeline. Whether I'm getting spurts of the waves of the event, the tentacles, or whatever. I know, Michelle, don't make fun of me. I mistyped that word. So funny. But I don't know what it is. But I'm going through my own event, my own experience, my own timeline. I don't have a concept of time. I don't believe in time anymore unless I have to do it as my job. That's my job, is to time management. That's the only time I put it in. Other than that, like, live in the moment. And each moment's happening, get off your dang cell phones. I'm so tired of people. Every person I hang out with, they're hanging out with their cell phone and not me. Like, I know you want to Snapchat or food or Instagram or food or, like, let's just keep it in our memories in here. Like, we'll take a picture at the end, cool, before we leave. But we all just got to be in the moment, be with each other, love each other, be here for each other. You know, the energies are getting kind of crazy. I mean, I was awakened in May 2017, and all this happened. Well, I had something happen in July, and I got Phoenix, but a lot of stuff was like really packed in, like in March. I haven't had anything except just being really tired and exhausted lately. I never nap. I have so much energy, and I've been napping. Thank you for Michelle saying I get so guilty. I feel lazy, like if I take a nap, especially during any time. So yeah, let's not feel guilty for anybody that needs to rest or sleep. A lot of people don't get any more flu shots. A lot of people are getting. My sister just keeps getting sick over and over again. I never got a flu shot, and I can't remember the last time I've been to the doctors or I've gotten sick or taken medication or anything like that. So I'm a healer, so I do a lot of self-healing. But anyways, I mean, it's just, don't take the flu shot. Okay, well, I'm going to let you guys go. It's already going longer than what I wanted to. Sorry for dragging it on, but this is my personality, and you're going to get my personality with the video, because this is who I am, and I can only be me, and I have finally learned who my true self is, and I'm going to embrace it and let me be the silly, goofy, silly me that sometimes laughs when I'm not supposed to. I'm going to work on that one. So, peace, love, and light to you all. Phoenix says, bye! Bye! And my next video, I will do a next video. I don't know what it'll be about with, but it'll be about something, because there's plenty to talk about all of this. So maybe it'll be a video, actually, it'll be a video about when I first learned I was a light worker. When I said it scared the bejesus out of me. Yeah, just because it's like, a lot of people are like, I heard one person that's like, it's not fair, Renee, like, how come you get to experience all of this? Like, I don't feel no energies, I don't feel nothing, you know? And again, you can't compare yourself to anyone in the 3D world or the 4D or 5D world. We're all on different timelines and all different experiences and all different ages and all different walks of life and all different parts of the world. So never compare yourself to anyone else. But I will share my experience, because I was so alone when I literally was like, all right, I gotta call my family and check myself in, because I have lost my mind. I'm going through a midlife crisis, or quarter life crisis, whatever you want to call it. So I'll talk about that. I think that's a good one, because when someone shared to me how they knew they were a light worker, and it was like coming from the heart, it wasn't so commercialized, and I really resonated with that. Some people are like, you're a light worker, and they make it all puppies and rainbows and unicorns, and it's really, really not. That you're making it way too cool when you learn you're a light worker. So that will be my next video. So anyways, all right, well, one more time, Phoenix and Renee, peace out, love and light. Till next time, love you all immensely.